I was like, canceled, like Monique, why is she canceled?
Mm-hmm.
I had to revisit that because it was like, it didn't make sense to me. And I said, but you Tyler Perry and you never told anyone too.
50 Cent just went off on Tyler Perry, and he didn't keep it quiet either. He straight up said, "You helped ruin Monique's career, and it's time to make it right." That's right, 50 Cent, one of the boldest voices in entertainment, just put Tyler Perry, one of Hollywood's biggest power players, on full blast. And this time, it's not about beef or clout, it's about justice. This whole story's been brewing for years. It's about a woman who climbed to the top of the game only to be pushed out of the same industry she helped shape. It's a tale of betrayal, ego, and silent deals that went down behind the glitz and glam of Hollywood. We're talking about how Monique, the Oscars-winning queen of raw, unfiltered truth, got blackballed from the business she once ruled. And now 50 Cent is stepping in to set the record straight. Let's take it back. In 2009, Monique was unstoppable. Her name was everywhere, her voice was loud, and her talent, untouchable. Her performance in Pressures wasn't just acting, it was transformation on screen. She went deep, dark, and brutally real.
Artists should be allowed to pursue their artistic endeavor. But I still think a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery and buffoonery, but we could do better.
We're talking about Tyler Perry at this point.
Showing emotions that made the world stop and watch. She won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, and that moment should have sent her career to the next level. But instead, that's when things started falling apart. See, when Monique won that Oscar, she didn't play by Hollywood's secret rule book. She wasn't about to kiss up or bend to anyone's system. And that's when the quiet backlash began. The whispers spread fast. The producers of Precious, including Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, and Tyler Perry, wanted her to travel overseas and promote the film. But what happened next would flip her whole world upside down. Unpaid? Yeah, you heard that right. They wanted Monique to promote Precious for free, saying it was for the love of the art. But Monique wasn't having it. She said, "I did my job. I acted. My contract didn't say I had to work for free." And that's when the phone calls stopped coming. If you know Monique, then you know she's not the type to back down. She's never been scared to say what others whisper about.
I never told no one not to work with him. And I said, but you Tyler Perry and you never told anyone.
So when her name suddenly vanished from Hollywood, she started asking questions. And that's when she found out that people were talking behind her back. Lee Daniels finally told her straight up that she'd been blackballed. He said, "You didn't play the game." And when she pressed him for names, he didn't hold back. He dropped 2 bombs, Oprah and Tyler Perry. According to Monique, those were the 2 who quietly shut doors in her face for years. She stayed silent at first, but when she finally started speaking out, there was no turning back. Monique hit every platform, interviews, podcasts, stages, telling her truth loud and clear. She says she was punished for standing her ground, treated like a problem instead of a professional.
Like canceled, like Monique, why is she canceled?
And each time she spoke her truth, Hollywood labeled her difficult. That's code for we can't control her. It was a whole system built to silence someone who refused to play nice. But that's where 50 Cent stepped in, and you know he lives for calling out the system. His whole career has been built on exposing hypocrisy, whether it's in music, TV, or Hollywood itself. When he heard Monique's story, he didn't just feel bad, he got fired up. He went online and said, "Monique is one of the most talented comedians alive. It's time she gets the respect she deserves."
I said, but you Tyler Perry and you never told anyone too.
50 Cent didn't hold back. He straight up asked Tyler Perry, "Why'd you tell people not to hire her?" And Perry tried to play it cool, saying, "I never told anyone that." But 50 wasn't buying it. He told fans, "Tyler said he didn't blackball her. But if that's true, then fix it. Call her, work with her, make it right." Because 50 knows one thing for sure. Talk is cheap. Words don't clear your name. Actions do. And when you really look at Monique's timeline, it all starts to add up. Right after Precious, the phone stopped ringing. No movie offers, no TV roles, nothing. Her career went silent overnight. Meanwhile, Tyler Perry and Oprah were flying higher than ever. New shows, new deals, new empires. And there was Monique, standing outside the gates of Hollywood, watching the same people she once worked beside rise to the top. That's why 50's message hit different, because for once, a powerful man was standing up for a powerful woman who'd been silenced for too long. Now, let's break down what 50 really meant by confronted. He wasn't talking about some shouting match in a parking lot. Nah, this was power going head-to-head with power. A mogul versus a billionaire. Tyler Perry isn't just a filmmaker, he's Hollywood royalty. He owns studios, has major partnerships with BET, and stays closely connected with Oprah. This man runs an empire big enough to make or break someone's career in a single phone call. But 50 though, he's built his own kingdom too. He doesn't need Hollywood, Hollywood needs him. So when he speaks, people listen. They can't just brush it off or hide behind PR statements. That's why this confrontation mattered so much. It wasn't drama, it was accountability. And here's where it cuts even deeper. For years, Tyler Perry has been known for preaching about uplifting the black community, creating roles for black women, and telling stories that shine a light on their strength and pain. But if Monique's story is true, that image gets complicated, real complicated. Because how can you say you stand for black women while helping silence one of the most iconic ones? Think about that for a second. A woman loses her career, gets branded difficult, and the man accused of helping to ruin it turns around and says she's the one who needs to apologize. That's power at its ugliest. It's the kind of twisted dynamic that shows exactly how the game in Hollywood really works. But then, everything started to shift. When 50 Cent brought Monique back on screen in BMF, the whole narrative flipped. Viewers saw her again and were like, hold up, Monique still got it. She was sharp, funny, powerful, undeniable. And suddenly, people started asking the question everyone had avoided for years. If she's still this good, then why was she ever blackballed in the first place? Soon, the spotlight turned to a Tyler Perry once more. Even folks inside Hollywood started whispering that maybe, just maybe, 50 was right. Because let's be real, Monique didn't just fade away. She was pushed out. The silence around her career wasn't natural. It was planned.
Now, to be fair, Tyler Perry hasn't been completely quiet about the situation. He's spoken around it a few times, saying he supports Monique, that he never told anyone not to hire her, and even claiming he personally talked to her to clear the air. But the public hasn't seen any real proof of that. No photos, no public apology, no joint project, nothing. So people are asking, if he truly wants to make things right, what's holding him back? And make no mistake, 50 Cent isn't doing this for clout. He's seen this kind of Hollywood story play out too many times. This town loves to build people up, only to tear them down the moment they stop playing by the rules, especially when they're outspoken, especially when they're black, and especially when they refuse to stay silent. Before you even realize it, your name turns toxic, like poison. That's exactly what happened to Monique, and that's what 50 Cent is fighting hard to reverse. He's using his own power and influence to bring her name back to where it belongs, right at the top. When 50 talks about fairness, it hits on a whole different level because he's lived that struggle too. He's been blackballed, blocked, and underestimated by labels, TV networks, and big-time execs who tried to shut him down, but he never folded. So when 50 saw Monique going through that same storm, he recognized the fight instantly. He said, they tried to shut her up, but she ain't shut down. She's still here, still shining, still real, still unstoppable. And that's why their alliance feels like more than just a partnership. It's a rebellion, a loud, defiant stand against the system that tried to bury both of them. Now, here's where the irony cuts deep. Tyler Perry's whole brand is built on forgiveness, faith, and second chances. His movies preach it, his interviews echo it. But when it came to Monique, that same grace seemed to vanish. Because in Hollywood, forgiveness isn't really about right or wrong. It's about control. And 50 Cent, he's breaking that control by calling it out in public, refusing to play the quiet game. He even said, I don't need Hollywood's permission to do what's right. And that line changed everything. Since then, Monique's comeback has been nothing short of powerful. She's working again, hitting interviews, standing in her truth, and finally telling her story without getting cut off or shut down. Whether Tyler Perry likes it or not, people are listening. The narrative is flipped. No more Monique's difficult. Now it's Monique was right. And it all started because 50 used his platform to give her voice back to the world. But let's keep it real. This isn't just about one actress. This is a mirror reflecting what happens when power gets too comfortable. When people sitting at the top start thinking they can choose who deserves to speak and who doesn't. Hollywood doesn't always silence people with violence. It does it with silence. It shuts doors quietly, cuts calls suddenly, and lets your name fade until it's forgotten. For years, that silence had the upper hand until 50 Cent stepped in and flipped the whole script. Now, the whole situation has the industry buzzing like never before. People who used to stay quiet are finally speaking up. Actors, producers, even journalists are saying, yo, maybe Monique really was telling the truth all along. Hollywood's always been good at hiding its mess, but this time, the cracks are showing, and 50's making sure the light gets in. Since Monique's comeback, her energy has been unmatched. Every interview, every appearance, she walks in with her head high, reminding everyone that she never needed permission to be great. Fans are cheering her on, saying she's back and she's better than ever. And honestly, they're right. After being shut out for more than a decade, Monique is doing what most people thought she never could, winning again. Meanwhile, the pressure on Tyler Perry keeps growing. Every time he drops a new project, someone brings up Monique's name. People are watching closely now, waiting to see if he'll ever step up publicly and make things right. Some even say that a real apology or collaboration could be one of the biggest redemption moments Hollywood has ever seen. But so far, silence still hangs heavy, and that silence speaks volumes. 50 Cent, though, he's not letting this go. He's turned Monique's story into a symbol, proof that no matter how powerful the system is, the truth always finds its way back. He's showing that standing up for what's right doesn't make you difficult, it makes you dangerous to the people who play dirty behind the scenes. And the wild part, the more he speaks out, the more people start rethinking the whole Hollywood hierarchy. Now people are whispering about what comes next. Will Monique and Tyler Perry ever sit down face to face? Will Oprah join that conversation? Or has the damage gone too deep to fix? Because if that meeting never happens, it'll be the moment everyone's waiting for. A moment that could shift the culture and force Hollywood to take accountability for the way it treats its own. But until that day comes, one thing's clear. Monique isn't hiding anymore. She's out here reclaiming her story, her space, and her power. And with 50 Cent backing her, it feels like the start of something bigger, a movement. This isn't just about payback or reputation anymore. It's about rewriting the rules of the game, making sure no one else gets erased the way she did. Because the truth, once you survive Hollywood's silence, your voice becomes louder than ever. Some people say 50's just stirring the pot, that he's chasing clout, picking fights, and making enemies just to trend online. But let's be real, that's what they always say when someone dares to challenge the system. Because here's the truth, when a powerful voice starts speaking up, it's not about clout, it's about courage. Monique once said, silence is betrayal, and 50 clearly heard that loud and clear. He's not staying quiet, not now, not ever. He's speaking up for Monique, but also for every artist who's been bullied, blackballed, or buried just for saying no. This isn't just about one actress, it's about the whole culture of fear that runs deep in Hollywood. And 50, he's calling it out one post, one project, one truth at a time. And here's the beautiful twist. After all the pain, the rumors, the years of being locked out, Monique is finally having a last laugh. She's back to work, back in the spotlight, and walking with her head high. She even said, when you tell the truth, you don't need to remember the lie. That line hits deep because it's not just about survival, it's about healing. She's not bitter anymore, she's better. Now, whether Tyler Perry ever owns up to his part or not, the truth's already out there, and it's not going anywhere. The industry's watching differently now, paying closer attention to the whispers that used to stay buried. Because when someone as powerful as 50 Cent says, yo, that's not right, the world listens. Now let's be honest, even Tyler Perry can't dodge that kind of truth forever. So yeah, 50 Cent did confront Tyler Perry. Not with violence, not with threats, but with straight up truth. And sometimes Truth hits harder than any punch ever could. It shakes the walls, it exposes what's been hidden, and it forces the powerful to look in the mirror. This is Trend Press, where we don't sugarcoat anything. We serve the drama raw, real, and straight to the point. So hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Do you think Tyler Perry really tried to block Monique's career? Or was it just Hollywood politics spinning out of control? Let's talk about it, because one thing's for sure, when 50 Cent steps into the ring, somebody's reputation is about to get exposed. See you in the next one.